Hey, what up fam? I'm just chilling, kicking it here, drinking a little bit of this Tap Room number 21 Amber Ale. This is some good stuff if you're a beer drinker. But check it, this video is a list of people that have managed to fake their deaths. Now, Tupac's not on the list, so don't worry about it. But these are people that actually have done it. And these are the people that got caught. There's a lot of people out there that never get caught. But let's check out this list. And you don't need a lot of money to fake your death. You know, people think, oh, it's an elaborate plan. No, all you need is a plan and an execution of the plan, and you can get away with it. So check it out. This is the list, and I hope you enjoy it.
In 1929, Connie Franklin got his girlfriend to say that they were captured by thugs and she was raped and he was murdered. 5 men were put on trial for the crime, but things didn't add up because Connie, instead of staying in hiding, came back to town looking for work. Bottom line, they found out that his real name was Marion Franklin Rogers. He had 4 kids and he just happened to have escaped from a nearby mental hospital. He was trying to start a new life. One of the more notorious ones is Kesey. He's the one that wrote the novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So in order to avoid going to jail over some marijuana charges back in 1965, he parked his car by a cliff and left a suicide note, but in reality, he fled to Mexico. When he returned less than a year later, he was caught and sent to jail for 5 months. Now this is one that probably happens a lot. Corey Taylor faked his own death in order to get out of a cell phone contract. He had a friend fax in a fake death certificate. Somehow, the company figured out that he was lying and he had to pay the $175 cancellation fee. But you gotta give it to him, that's a good try. Now this one here is gonna get your brain moving. Allison Matera is another person that faked her own death. She couldn't figure out a way to stop going to church, so she told him that she was dying of cancer. She started going to church less and less, saying that she had to go to her treatments. Then one day, she called the pastor, posing like she was a nurse, and told him that she died. But then she showed up at her own funeral, pretending that she was her sister. So people sort of figure it out from there. A lawyer in Tennessee by the name of William Grothe got his wife to report him missing. They found his wallet and leather jacket by a river. But where he messed up is when he called up the police and claimed that he was the man that murdered him. Something wasn't right about the phone call, so they matched his voice against his outgoing voicemail message, and bam, they got him. A while later, they found him in Montana, and they forced him to pay $13,000, which is the money they spent searching for him. And here's the case of Aimee McPherson. This lady was a preacher. One day, her mother announced that her daughter left to go with Jesus after she drowned in Venice Beach. But just a month later, they found her in Arizona, saying that she had been kidnapped. The DA pressed charges against her, but dropped them, and no one ever found out what really happened. And here's a curious case of Ganda Ruben Subramanian. This guy's business in Singapore went bankrupt, so he fled to Sri Lanka and got a fake death certificate claiming that he was killed in a shootout in a war. His wife claimed almost $250,000 in insurance money, but Ganda Ruben's plan didn't finish there. He went back and remarried his widow using a fake passport. They even had another kid after that. He was eventually caught in 2007 trying to re-enter Singapore. 20 years later, he went to jail for 3 years. Hugo Jose Sanchez came up with the plan to pretend to die of a heart attack and move the family to Costa Rica. The company where he worked at believed it and they started paying his wife his pension. But a friend that was in on it eventually told on him and investigators found the truth. They eventually arrested the friend and Hugo and they both served time behind bars. Bennie Wint was a bit paranoid. He thought he was wanted for some drug charges. So on the evening of his wedding, he went for a swim and never came back. People thought he died, including his fiancée and his ex-wife and a 4-year-old son. 20 years later, he was pulled over for not having a light bulb on his license plate, and he confessed to the whole thing. He told police he did it because he thought he was wanted on drug charges. But the fact is that he was never wanted on any charges. During the time that he was faking his death, he actually never changed his name and got remarried and had a 17-year-old son. As you can see, there are a lot of people out there that will fake their death for many reasons. The people that I just listed here are the people that got caught. There are many others that never get caught. It's a lot more common than we think. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe.